And then Senator Moran.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Secretary, Puget Sound Naval Shipyard, located in my home state of Washington, is one of the largest shipyards in the country and the only shipyard on the entire West Coast that can dry dock Nimitz-class aircraft carriers. It's a huge asset to the Navy and the overall Indo-Pacific strategy. Right now, PSNS is undergoing important renovations to address seismic vulnerabilities and prepare for the new Ford-class aircraft carriers. This administration, however, is actively encouraging our shipbuilders to leave their jobs and putting up absurd barriers to hiring new civilian workers. Almost 2,000 naval shipyard workers have already taken the deferred resignation under the threat of looming mass layoffs. And Trump's Office of Personnel Management is insisting on approving civilians one by one, which is creating massive slowdowns and ballooning wait lists to hire the workers that we need at every base in this country. And on top of that, on May 29th, OPM added a requirement for new civilian, nonpartisan hires to write about how they would, quote, advance the president's executive orders and policy priorities as part of their application process. Secretary Phelan, how does a welder's fluency in or support of Trump's executive orders relate to their qualifications as a welder?
Senator, thank you for the question. I did visit Puget Sound and saw a lot of the impressive work that was done there. As to your question on the, I believe what you're referring to is the civilian loyalty oath, and my understanding is the Department of the Navy continues to use the same appointment affidavit it's been using since 2002 for civilian hires, and we are waiting for guidance from the Department of Defense as it relates to any revisions.
Well, will you push back on OPM's political purity tests and object to them individually approving civilian hires?
Senator, I'll have to wait to see what it is they recommend before I tell you which way I'm going to go.
From my position, a nonpartisan government hire should not need to articulate which Trump policy they like best just to get hired, and a welder should not need to share their favorite Trump executive order. This is putting us behind. So I just think that this is something that we all need to take notice of, and I hope as you get your guidance that you push back on that. Second question, Naval Base Kitsap, also in my state, is the third largest Navy base in the United States. It's home to 15,000 service members, nearly 18,000 family members and retirees. But since 2022, the Defense Health Agency has repeatedly ordered the base's hospital to cut critical staff and medical care, which has been devastating for our service members and their families' access to health care. Right now, in fact, Naval Hospital Bremerton's internal medicine department has zero physicians for over 2,000 patients. Instead of hiring anyone, DHA is forcing patients now to travel over an hour on a good day each way to Madigan Army Medical Center at Joint Base Lewis McChord. Mr. Secretary, this is just unacceptable. Can you fill me in on what the Navy is doing to fill those vacancies at Bremerton?
Senator, thank you for the question. As you know, I've been visiting a number of different installations of ours, and from some of the conditions of the barracks to some of the conditions of the medical facilities, et cetera, we have issues at most of them. On that specific one, I'm going to have to get back to you and get some more detail on it, which I will do.
Admiral, do you have anything to add?
I agree with your assessment, ma'am. There are challenges with DHA across the board for the Navy, and we're working, like all the other services, to make sure we're providing the best health care we can for our service members and our families.
This is a readiness issue. It's a retention issue. It's personal for these families. So please, if you could get back to me about what steps we are going to take to fix this. Finally, let me ask you about Naval Station Everett. It was designated as the home station for the new class of frigates in 2022. However, the design delays have postponed production for the last 3 years. I understand that you and the department leadership are considering several options for the future of the Constellation-class frigate, and I'd emphasize this committee needs the budget details to put this bill together. So if you can make sure we have that and talk for a minute about what you see as the implications for Everett under the different scenarios the department might propose for the frigate program.
So let me take that one for the record and come back to you.
I would appreciate the response to that. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.